Alright, so according to Jarrell Miller, the Anthony Joshua fight, the ball is in AJ's court, and it's really up to the Joshua side to figure out who they're fighting next. But we do know Jarrell Miller is being one of the candidates for a U.S. fight in New York. E-King's Fight News. Got more on this. Alright, so it's actually Jarrell Miller's promoter saying Anthony Joshua has for a heavyweight fight with Jarrell Miller. So Dimitri Salita had several things to say. One of them basically saying he wouldn't be surprised. He would not be surprised if that fight were to happen next. Alright, now let's not forget, guys, there's a few key reasons why Jarrell Miller might get this AJ fight next. Eddie Hearn has been looking to grow AJ's star power in the U.S. He's always talked about this situation going down where AJ and Jarrell Miller could do a Madison Square Garden fight, a Barclays Center fight, a U.S. debut. He's always talked about this shit. But now that we pretty much understand Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are going to go ahead and potentially finalize a rematch for 2019, AJ's slate is pretty much, it's not exactly wide open, because the word is, and the expected fight is Dillian Whyte. That brings in more money for Eddie Hearn, brings in more money for AJ than would a U.S. debut. Right? Unless I'm wrong. Can AJ be just as successful in the U.S. compared to the U.K.? Because, you know, he's going to have a bunch of his hardcore loyal fans still staying up late and buying that Sky box office pay-per-view. He's gonna have a good bunch of them hardcore AJ heads buying that shit. But the main concern, and another reason AJ, I think, could be forced into the situation is that whole DAZN app. The DAZN app needs something big from Eddie Hearn, otherwise they're going to get rid of Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn has not brought any additional value to DAZN other than his quote-unquote content that DAZN pretty much paid for. Where do you think Eddie Hearn's getting all these guarantees to sign all these B and C level fighters? He's getting that money from DAZN, right? Y'all know about that quote-unquote $1 billion deal. So basically, DAZN fronted Eddie Hearn a shit ton of cash, and they're not seeing the returns. That's why they're saying, "Hey, bring AJ's bitch ass over here, and let's pop our subscribers." Eddie Hearn, that's what they're saying. I'm sure that's what's being talked about. And now the other aspect of it, right? They want to grow AJ's star power. It kills two birds with one stone, because it should move the needle for DAZN. And number three, Jarrell Miller is signed with Eddie Hearn on a co-promotional deal. So it would count as an in-house fight for Eddie. And ultimately, it might be the easier fight than a Dillian Whyte showdown. That could easily be, in my opinion, Dillian Whyte is a tougher opponent. So, I mean, apart from it's gonna look real bad for AJ if he decides to make his U.S. debut I think it would look real bad because he's been saying all this extra stuff about the UK fans and how he built something in the UK and he doesn't want to sell his soul. All this extra shit. But you know what? All we got to do is wait and see. And by the way, I said two things in a previous video. Check it out. It's the real reason why Anthony Joshua will face Jarrell Miller. Right? And I talked about the zone being a main reason. And I didn't talk about this. Jarrell Miller was supposed to fight January 18th in the theater at Madison Square Garden. Right? Right, he was supposed to fight a guy named Trevor Bryan, who is pretty highly ranked in the WBA. Guess what? That fight was also put off the table. You wonder why? You wonder why Jarrell Miller's fight against Trevor Bryan was put off the table. Maybe they got something lined up for Jarrell Miller. And that's more speculation, but a lot of things are adding up to Anthony Joshua versus Jarrell Miller in the very near future. A lot of things are adding up. You know, technically, Jarrell Miller doesn't have a great defense. He tends to walk forward with a high guard. He's got these short-ass arms, so he can't out-jab AJ. He's got to try and dodge AJ's long shots, his big jab, a long right hand, you know, and AJ's got wicked uppercuts on the inside. It's a great style matchup for Anthony Joshua. So I actually think that it should be easy work. It should be easy work. But end of the day, let me know what you guys think, man. Smash the like button. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, man. E-Kings Fight News. And yeah, basically, promotional team, Jarrell Miller, is saying, hey, the ball's in AJ's court. You know, they wouldn't be surprised if that fight didn't happen next, or it did happen next. They also said they would be open to Wilder or Tyson Fury, but you know, that's a whole lot of bullshit. It's a whole lot of bullshit. These guys know how to duck and maneuver around, especially Jarrell Miller. Especially Jarrell Miller. But suddenly I'm thinking this is the next fight. And as much as you know, y'all want to say, oh, you know, it's gonna be Dillian Whyte. Why is Dillian Whyte being kept in the dark about this? Why is Dillian Whyte having to talk to the media, saying, hey, you know, I haven't heard anything from AJ. You know, he's really talking that shit. Talking about, you know, AJ really ducked Deontay Wilder. So something's up, man. Some red flags are going off. And I think AJ's about to turn his back on Dillian Whyte and basically do a solid for Eddie Hearn. And that's just my thoughts, man. E-King Fight News. Let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I shouldn't have to say it again, but you know, some of you guys don't listen the first time. I'm just playing, yo. E-Kings Fight News. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Hit that bell icon if you haven't already. And I'm gonna make this a live stream premiere. That's what I'm gonna do. But for now, you already know what it is, man. I'm gonna let this music roll, and let me know what you guys think. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna let me know who you think AJ's fighting next. Right? 1. You're gonna type 1 for Jarrell Miller, and 2 for Dillian Whyte. I just gave you 3 reasons why Jarrell Miller is pretty much next. It's an easier fight compared to Dillian Whyte. It is the easier fight. The zone is going to push for it to happen. And Eddie Hearn, I'm sure, believes it's going to grow AJ's brand in the U.S. So what do you guys think about that? E-King Fight News. You already know, man. Peace.